It was a brutal double overtime loss for Clemson against NC State. What is the biggest difference, though, in the Tigers this season?
Nicole, they have no offense. And I mean, they can go to the dollar store and try to buy one, but it's not going to help them because they are out of the playoffs by the end of September. I'm still not even sure I'm saying those words considering the dominance this program has had. Their defense is fantastic. It has been money all year long, but the problem yesterday, they couldn't get any offense going against NC State. This is a team that lost 2 weeks ago at Mississippi State. This is not a vintage team. I think the biggest problem is Jeff Scott left a couple of years ago. He was the co-offensive coordinator. He went to USF, and the offense, quite frankly, has regressed without Trevor Lawrence. I know that's a shocker.
No Trevor Lawrence, no Travis Etienne. They've lacked consistency. Obviously, they lack a little bit of depth and rhythm as well. They were held to less than 300 yards as well for the third time this season. A big win, though, for Arkansas against Texas A&M. When it comes to threatening Alabama, though, because that's obviously the only thing we care about in the SEC, how seriously should we take Arkansas?
They are very good. I mean, they own the state of Texas this morning, having beaten the Longhorns a couple of weeks ago and A&M yesterday. But the problem is the schedule. Not only do they have to deal with Alabama in the next to the last game of the season, Nicole, guess where they go this coming Saturday? They go to Athens and take on the number 2 team in the country that many people think could be the best team in the country. So that's really the problem. I think they're really well coached under Sam Pittman, who's already a National Coach of the Year candidate. But I just don't think they can negotiate both Alabama and Georgia on the schedule.
It is a really hard schedule. But, hey, confidence goes a long way, and they got some of that yesterday. All right, Trevor Maddich did this earlier with us. Let's do a little rank and file. You give us your top 4 teams, and then a 5th team, the AKA, that's the one to file away for later. Let's start with your number 4.
I'll start with Penn State. They were pedestrian yesterday against Villanova, but I really like what I've seen from them so far. Although the Wisconsin and Auburn wins have been seriously discounted. They have IU this weekend and Iowa coming up. Number 3, Oregon. If you stayed up late into the night or the early morning, you were wondering about the Ducks. They did not look very good against a woeful Arizona team, which has yet to win. They pulled out the game, and I think that's really all that matters. They are unfortunately playing down to competition. That needs to change later in the year. And what about the Dogs? Should we be impressed that they went to Nashville and shut out Vanderbilt? Probably not, but they look so good. Their defense is absolutely nasty. Their offense starting to come alive. And as I mentioned, they have Arkansas this Saturday. And number 1, guess who? Surprise, surprise, Alabama. Bryce Young was back to form yesterday against Southern Miss. They did almost everything right, except they gave up 1 or 2 plays, which I'm sure will upset Coach Saban. Now, my file away team is not too far away. It's Iowa. I mean, they are knocking on the door. Now, Iowa was also lethargic yesterday against Colorado State, a really bad team. They lost to Vanderbilt, but Iowa, I think, is going to be heard from often this year.
10 straight wins for Iowa. We're certainly hearing from now. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.